Hello and welcome. This is Kim Larson and I'm going to teach you how to use Adobe Illustrator, and currently I'm using CS 5.5, but this will work in previous versions. But I'm going to show you how to take this business card and how to then transform it and then put it onto a larger sheet of paper, like 8.5 by 11, and actually do the imposition for it so that you can print in what is known as 10 up. So it's a very simple process. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. I'm going to hit the Z key and then hold down Alt so I can zoom out. And right next to my business card here, you'll see that I have the full sheet of 8.5 by 11. Now, a little trick that I'm going to tell you about. First of all, if I take my business card and I select it, I'm going to hold down the Alt key to duplicate it and pull it over here. You'll notice that I'm missing vital information, and that is the actual bounding box of the business card. And it would kind of help in this process if I could have that binding box viewable at this point. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just drag out a simple rectangle around the edge of this business card. And right now I have a fill on it, so I'm going to switch it to a stroke. And what this is going to allow me to do is now when I select it, hold down the Alt key to create a duplicate and come over to my page, you are going to see that I'm going to have the outside box. You'll also notice that since I'm using CS 5.5 and CS5, then we now have the Smart Guide. You can see that green line down the center, and it tells me that it is centered on my page, which is also a bit of useful information. So I'm going to go ahead and let it up, and you will notice now I have my binding box. Now, as we know, when we go to print our business cards, we don't want it to print with that black border around it, but that's okay because we're going to go ahead and take that off momentarily. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and select my card again, and I'm going to go up here to Effects, and then I'm going to go to Transform. Right here it says Distort and Transform, and then I'm going to click on Transform. Now this is where the magic all happens. I'm going to go ahead and click Preview just so I can see what's happening. And what I'm going to do is I want to take and move this business card 3.5 inches over to the right, because we know a business card, the width of it is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to do a horizontal move of 3.5 inches, and I want to do one copy with the preview, because if I do just a move, it's going to move it 3.5. What I want to do is I want to take it and actually copy it over 3.5, and I will click OK. Now you'll notice that now I have two cards on there. If I do Control Y real quick just to see the outlines, you can see that the Illustrator only sees that there's one card on the page. I'll do Control Y again to come out of it, but we actually see two business cards on the page. Now I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to do Effect again and come down here to Transform and Transform. And this time what I want to do is I want to go 2 inches down on the page, because we know the height of a business card is 2 inches. So I'm going to do a vertical of 2 inches. I'm going to do a preview, but I also want to do 4 copies. Now I'm just clicking somewhere else. I'm not going to hit it, not going to enter anything changing it, but you'll notice that it now created, I made the first one and now it's coming down and I have 4 more copies down below. I'm going to click OK. Again, if I do Control Y to see the outline mode, you can see that Illustrator actually only sees that this is one card. Now what's so cool about this, I'm going to go ahead and hit Z so I can zoom in. And what is so just absolutely awesome about this is that I can now take my type tool. Let's say I messed up here and I actually want to put some contact information in here. Watch when I start typing in the other cards. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, any street. I'll go ahead and take this one and put any town, state, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you'll notice that because I did it on the one card, because I did the transform and everything, as soon as I do it on the one card, now it shows up on all the other cards. So you can see how the transform tool is absolutely awesome. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out real quick. I'm going to hit Control 0 and it will zoom out to full page. Now what I need to do is I just need to go ahead and create my cut marks real quick. I'm just going to get the pen tool. It's what I'm most comfortable with. and I'm going to just do a little tick mark. To make that straight line, when I clicked and went to the other side and clicked, I just held down the Shift key. Now what I want to do is I want to take this this trim mark. I'm going to go ahead and make this into a stroke instead of a fill. I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to pull it to where it intersects with the line underneath it. Now, one of the cool things also about Illustrator is because I made that move once and I went down 2 inches, I can go ahead and do Control D for duplicate, and it will continue down the page. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these trim marks and drag them over to the other side by holding down the Shift key. Now I'm going to come up here to the top. I'm going to do the same thing and do my tick marks up at the top, holding down the Alt and Shift key to get to the center, and then I'll just do Control D to copy it to the other side. Now I'm going to select them all, come down here, I'm going to hold down Shift as I'm dragging it down here, and you'll notice that I have my tick marks at the bottom. Now the tick marks are important because we need to know where to cut, because again, like I said, we're going to take off those black squares. So I can come up here to the very top one, the original drawing, and now I'm just going to hit the delete key. Once I delete it on one, I delete it on all of them. I hope that you enjoyed this recording, and if you have any questions, just shoot